Hey, hello champions. Welcome to this session on elastic load balancers. So let's quickly get started to understand how to create a load balancer. So I'll walk you through a quick list. So this is a quick list or quick steps where we would create three instances which we would load balance. Okay, we'll create a target group, we'll register the targets, configure the load balancer, and test the ALB. Okay, so let's get into action items. So in fact, let's jump into AWS console, and here I would want you to jump on the EC2 section. Once you are into the EC2 section, let's create the instances first. Okay, so let's go back to, okay, yeah, make sure that you note the region that you are in. I'll go back to North Virginia region, in fact. Okay, so I'll say quickly launch instance. So the first step is to create instance. Let's call it as server A. So I'll create three servers, server A, B, and C. They're going to create a Linux machine quickly, going with a free tier T2 micro key pair, default key pair, anything of your choice. I'm going to go with default VPC, and again, no creation of new security groups. I'm going to go with the default security groups, default configuration storage, and in advanced details, I'm going to go with all defaults, but except the script, that is going to change a little. So here I'm going to pass on this script, and this is just creating or launching an Apache web server. The only thing is, since we are load balancing, the request might go to A, B, and C server, and you might not get to know. So I'm changing the message for server A, we'll keep it A, B, and C, and so on. So I'll say launch. If at all we want to keep the message same, we can launch three instances in a single go, but I want to keep the messaging different. So the first server is already launched, and meanwhile it is coming in. Let's launch another server. So I'll quickly go ahead and create another server here. So let's call this as server B. Again, everything same with the default security groups. Advanced details, and only the thing that I will change here is instead of server A, I'll say server B. Okay. Make sure when you're copy pasting this message, you do not play with the lines. Otherwise, if there is a mistake, the web page would not come up. Okay. I'll launch one more. Earlier in previous videos, we had shown you two web servers. Here, let's take it to three servers. Okay. So server C. Same VPC. Make sure you keep the same VPC. And I'll name this as server C. Okay. Let's launch this. Okay. All these servers are launched. Now let's look here. So sometimes, there is an issue, like you have to refresh it and then you'll be able to see. So while A has come up, let's quickly check if the message on A is totally the way we want it. Okay. So let's see if server A has come up. You can see server A has come up and the messaging on that is server A. Okay, let's check the next server, server B. So I'll copy the public IP. And again, please make sure you have allowed in the security group, you have allowed port, 80 for everyone. So B is working fine. Let's check the C one. Okay. So I'll show you once again the security group settings that you need to do. This might take a little time because server C we have just created. And meanwhile, while it is coming up, what I'll do is I'll show you, the security group settings that you have to make. So in the security tab, right click the security group, and all these three servers are part of the same security group and same VPC. Okay, so you can go back to the inbound rules, edit inbound rules, and the inbound rules, this setting has to be there, HTTP 00. If it doesn't look for you, like let me show you how to create that. So click on custom TCP, select HTTP because we are going to create Apache server that's going to run on port 80. And this should be open for everyone. So I'm going to keep it all IPv4, or you can keep it all IPv4 and all IPv6 as well. I'm going to save this And just because we have saved this rule, that's why the web page server is available to everyone. So you can see the messaging is clear, server A, B, and C. Okay, so that's the first step. We are done with the first step. Now let's go back to the next step. That is, create the target groups. Okay, so I'll come back to the steps here. So we have created 3 instances, then we create target groups. Target group is like grouping of servers. Okay, so let's group these servers. Now there are various options that you have got. Either you can group them by instances, by IP addresses, by Lambda function, or create application load balancer. To keep it simple, I'm just going to go ahead with the default option, that is instances. Okay, so we have got 3 instances. I'm just going to add those. Again, this instance is running on port 80 HTTP, so I'll keep it the same. We are going with IPv4 addresses, default VPC, and it's going to do a health check, which means it's going to check whether the web page is available or not. So I'm going to keep this web page as default, which means IP/. Okay. Now advanced health check. Okay. So now how many successful check? Okay. Consecutive health check. If those are successful, this should be taken as healthy. So ideally default setting is 5, but I'll keep it 3, which means if 3 checks are success or healthy, or 3 checks are successful, that means the instance will be considered as healthy. If the continuous 3 checks fail, then this instance would be marked as unhealthy. Okay. Timeout, which means if an instance is trying to be reached, and if there is no response, after how many seconds should we consider it as a timeout? That's 6 seconds. And after how many seconds should the health check happen? So defaultly it is 30 seconds, but I'll keep it 15 here because I want to make this demo quick. Okay, which means every 15 seconds, the health check would be given. If 3 successful health checks, which means the instance is healthy, it's working. 3 unsuccessful, which means instance is unhealthy, not working. In fact, we can keep it those 2, because if that's unhealthy, it should go out immediately. And timeout is 6 seconds if the instance is not recording. Not responding. Success code is 200. Now tags, you can add this. This is optional. Let's name this as ALB demo. Okay, and I say next. So I'm creating a. Okay, yeah, we'll have to give it a name. ALB target group. So elastic load balancer target group. I'm going to say next. So the target group is created, but the instance are not added. You can see review the targets. There are no targets here, but these are the available instances. So you can add 1 or 2, but here for the demo, I'll add all the instances. So you see these instances will be checked on port 80, and I'm adding this. So make sure you click on include below, and now you could see these instances are considered as target groups. Okay, so our target group is created. Now you would see the status of this target group is unused, which means these instances are here, just a target group is created. There is no load balancer created. So I want you to create this step here. So you can see there are 3 targets. There is no health check as of now done. There is unhealthy or healthy, but we see 3 unused targets. So that is what I want you to do in this quick video 1. In the next video, what we'll do is we'll quickly set up the load balancer. So I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye.